bye, but perhaps even get a double bye if all things go well here for Los Angeles. He points the fingers at their vets, and everything goes through a Chelsea Gray, a Candace Parker, and Nneka Ogwumike, even Elena Beard, even when they weren't playing. A lot of leadership they provided from the bench and practices, not just on the court. Kick out to the corner, it's Gray. The triple try is good. Right away, a nice shot there for Gray. I think that this is going to be a fans game, Lisa. These are two of the top best offensive teams in the WNBA, scoring, field goal percentage, just really fun basketball. We're in store here tonight. Fans game, a broadcaster's game. Yep, right? That's right. Very few people dislike a high-scoring affair. And again, this is the third meeting, the second time in 5 days. James Wade has taken on the Los Angeles Sparks. He kind of used the words that you used at the beginning, Trish, that they're gaining ground on Los Angeles, have yet to beat them this year. In fact, they have struggled against this franchise the most out of any other WNBA opponent in franchise history. Dolson can't get that one. Allie chased down the rebound. She was left wide open. Here's Ruffin Pratt. Known defensively for her presence in her first season playing with Los Angeles. She had played her first few years with Washington, of course. And the personal foul against Courtney Vandersloot, who missed the Sunday game against Los Angeles, came up with the flu. And of course, Derek Fisher is the first one to tell you this Chicago team is much, much different tonight with Sloot in the lineup.
Boy, that was tough sledding there in LA. You lose Jantel Lavender in the Vegas game, and then find out that Courtney Vandersloot not feeling very well, and she sat out as well.
With the offensive foul called on Nneka Ogwumike. This is a Chicago lineup that hasn't seen many changes, and then all of a sudden in one game, no Lavender, no Courtney Vandersloot on Sunday, yet they still have a 16-point advantage. It opens up the door for players like a Stu Duke.
Well, it does, and that's what it has to be, the next man stepping up mentality for the Sky. I think that those, along with the Stu, like we talked about in the open, it's going to be a combination of players who are going to fill that role for Jantel Lavender inside for the Sky.
Courtney Vandersloot, no one could stop her. Tara Ruffin Pratt tried, took it all the way, finished with the left hand. Courtney Vandersloot, the last 4 games, averaging about 16 points per game, shooting about 64% from the floor. Not only important in the way she's distributing the basketball, but the way she's scoring the basketball as well. Here's Gray, the step back, she thought about it. And Parker, dozens and dozens of family and friends usually here to watch her play. They're going to call based on Steph's reaction. They are going to call the personal on Stephanie Dolson. That is her first, but the door is open here for a Stu Due, and right now she's taking advantage of it early.
Well, I talked to James Wade this week, and he really likes her length, her size, her ability to be able to guard players like a Candace Parker. She has a lot of versatility with her size.
Conversation that we'll have too at halftime with her. By the way, we hope on social media and with your halftime conversation we have officially ended the controversy on how to say her last name. We hear it from her herself, right on tape in a couple of different places.
It looks complicated, but it's so easy and it rolls off the tongue, Lisa. Stu-doo.
That's right.
Stu-doo.
Right.
You could almost make it one word.
You could.
You say it with a little bit of flair.
But it is officially 2 words.
It is.
As Diamond DeShields goes to the free throw line. The foul again on Nneka Ogwumike, so that's number 2 on Ogwumike. So some decisions to make here early, not even 3 minutes into this game here for Derek Fisher, as her sister, Chene, getting set to check in, and she will take Nneka's place.
What a pickup for LA, bringing in the other Ogwumike, Chene, and she did a fabulous job in Connecticut. A great offensive producer, good shooter, and so fun for her to be able to team up with her sister on the same team again like they did in college at Stanford.
Yeah, a little bit of a different role though for her. Normally a starter at Connecticut, of course the first overall pick many years ago, and now she will come off the bench for Los Angeles. Tough to pick up some minutes on an all-star team that LA has year in and year out. Into the corner, Allie quickly with her first three. The crowd loves it.
You could see that. That was completely online, and Allie just so in rhythm, and you give her that kind of time and that kind of a look, and that is going down.
Parker going at Duke. Here's Chene. Ogumake drills her first shot.
That is what is so tough about Candace Parker, is that she is such a focus of the offense, but she sees the floor so well. So you kind of jam her up, and she's able to find a teammate.
Allie was looking for a foul, didn't get it. The recipient of that no-looker from Courtney Vandersloot.
Take a look at the ball movement here, and Courtney Vandersloot recognizing right away that Allie had a little bit of daylight there along the baseline.
That's what they call the Vanderqueeps connection. As they call themselves. There's another one for Allie. That time it's a 2. An 11-5 advantage. And remember, Chicago on Sunday jumped out to a big lead, led by as many as 16 in that game. Los Angeles had to rally, eventually winning that one by 3.
I would imagine that did not sit very well with this guy getting out to that lead, squandering that on the road. That would have been a huge pickup win for this guy. They are going to make sure to keep their foot on the pedal from start to finish here tonight.
Allie with that deadly pump fake, and the rebound there from 2. That is what she can do. Pressure coming. LA's in trouble. Ruff and Pratt jump ball.
That's exactly what this guy needs to do, because this guy got a lot of second chance points out of Jantel Lavender. So just filling that role seamlessly and just being on the boards, being in the right spot, and that nice up and in. Very nice soft touch around the rim for Dudu.
Yeah, she really had a good game in that LA game on Sunday. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks, 32 minutes of play. Most she's played all season. So jump it up. Ruff and Pratt actually got that on the way down. I think they might see what they decide to do with it. They're going to give it to Chicago. Interesting. LA doesn't understand. Not sure I quite do either, actually.
Oh, they're calling a loose ball foul on Ruff and Pratt.
Okay, so we will take a look here. There's the reaction from Chene Ogumake. It was Ruff and Pratt who actually, I don't know if she held Diamond, maybe because Diamond jumped late, it looked like.
Yep. Both of them kind of timed that jump a little wrong, and that's why the ball hit the floor.
Here's a look at the jump ball. Oh, yeah, she pulled down on her arm. Yep. So that's the call there on Ruff and Pratt.
Trying to get an edge.
So that's the second on Tierra Ruff and Pratt, too. So 2 of their starters now, Nneka Ogumake and Tierra Ruff and Pratt, sitting on the bench not only 5 minutes into this one. It's Elena Beard who's now checked in for LA.
There she is again. That's 2 offensive rebounds in that set for this guy. And it's Dudu again finishing with the putback. I like the aggressiveness. Love the hustle.
Hunting them down. 4 rebounds already to lead everyone. 6 points. We got to call a timeout. Derek Fisher needs to chat about things. Chicago up by 10. Really good start for the home team. One of Chicago's most experienced investment firms can help you save for your future. Visit ArielInvestments.com. Follow them on Twitter at Ariel Funds. Look at Arnie Duncan, who is a regular attendee here. Of course, the former United States Secretary of Education, normally sitting alongside John Rogers, involved with Ariel Investments, and of course, part owner here at the Chicago Sky. It's become a who's who at some of these games. It's kind of fun to look around and see who's in here in the stands.
NBA players. We got a lot of college coaches here this season because of AAU tournaments in Chicago.
Yeah, it was definitely a who's who with a couple of games. Chicago, just the way the schedule played out. A couple of home games during that really big AAU tournament across the street at McCormick Place. Dolson can't get that one. Weiss, who's checked in. Sydney Weiss has been a big story for LA as Gray gets another bucket.
Gray is so good at getting her own shot for the Sparks.
Getting her own shot, playmaking, doing a little bit of everything. It's become an all-star for them.
She's really kind of the part that makes this team go, this LA team. She has been the key to everything, and she has been healthy this season. She's kind of been keeping this team together in Los Angeles.
So with Tiara Ruffin-Pratt out, the block for Parker. That was not coming easy for Steph Dolson. Dolson got denied there offensively, but Dolson defensively, how about it?
And to work hard and keeping her hands as vertical as possible. Bridget Pettis, the Chicago Sky's assistant coach, was telling Steph Dolson during the last timeout just that. Keep her hands up high when guarding Candace Parker. And what a shot there for Allie Quigley.
Quigley's found her rhythm a little bit. And we saw two counters there between Parker and Dolson. Parker perhaps returning the favor from that play we just showed you, by the way. Quigley, meanwhile, 8 points, a couple of three-point makes. Here's Sloot on the push. And Cheyenne Parker has now checked in. It's Parker versus Parker. Quigley working around that screen. She'll pull up, floater. That's something that she's added to her arsenal.
Yes, she has been able to shoot off the run, shoot down the lane, makes herself much more versatile.
And Beard, good sign for Los Angeles when she can do that. She's been out with a hamstring. This is only her 9th game that she's played this year.
Slowly working her way back in, and she is one of the best defenders in the league, and you see there why. Just the quick hands coming up to steal.
Well, was voted best defensive player the last 2 seasons. And so you take out the best defensive player the last 2 seasons, and Tiara Ruffin-Pratt has tried to fill in those shoes, at least this year, to start for LA. Sloot, the no-looker. Diamond to Shields drawing the foul on Shanae Ogumake.
And just the way that Courtney Vandersloot is able to set up plays like that with her hesitation really opened up Diamond. And take a look at the ball movement there by the Sky. Cheyenne getting it out to Quigley in her sweet spot along the baseline there. And then Allie creating for herself as well. She is off to a great start with 10 points, the leading scorer in this game.
Maria the Diva will check in for Candace Parker, who will check out. And Quigley will take a little bit of a seat with 3 minutes to play in this first quarter. Diamond to Shields, a perfect 4 for 4 right now. All 4 of her points tonight coming from the free throw line.
A really good shooting night on the free throw line against Vegas.
Yeah, she
10 for 10, right?
She's been a player that if it's not coming to her on the floor, she'll find other ways to score. Either in transition or getting herself to the free throw line. And year number 2, she's done a good job doing that.
That's a sign of a mature player, even in her second year, not getting so frustrated when her shot isn't falling, yet still attacking the basket, able to score the free throw line. I like that about Diamond. I think that she keeps her cool. And like you said, finds other ways to be able to help the team.
Courtney Vandersloot will get her first breather as Gabby Williams will check in, and she'll work as the point guard now for Chicago. Talking to James Wade about when he made that decision, he said it was all the way back last November and December. He asked Gabby to do that. He was in France, she was somewhere in Italy, made a phone call to her, and she said, hey, I'm all in. All in is there for Elena Beard. The and one.
The thing is about the Gabby Williams situation is that she has spent the entire season being Courtney Vandersloot's back. I mean, what a nice little up and under there by Beard. But now you got a wrench putting into some things with the Jantel Lavender situation. James Wade telling me that Gabby Williams might be actually moved back into the front court to kind of add some reinforcements there. So that's showing Gabby Williams' versatility, that James Wade has that kind of confidence in her where he can put her anywhere.
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have where you can just fill in one player in many different holes as she initiates the offense here on this possession. Parker walked with it. A turnover for Chicago. Just the second Both of these teams done a decent job. Both of them with 2 turnovers here in this first quarter.
But getting back to Gabby Williams, she spent all last year, at least as an undersized front court player for this guy. I thought she held her own really well. So I think that she could handle that assignment if need be here at the remainder of the season.
Certainly one of the better defensive players. Sometimes hit or miss offensively. And she's put up big numbers more so last year. She had a couple of big games scoring wise. And we got another foul here on Parker.
A little bit with the body out and coming over from the side. But Cheyenne thinking that she got all ball on that block attempt.
That's Parker's first. No one on the Chicago side has a couple of fouls. James Wade doing okay in that category. Remember, Los Angeles lost Nneka Ogwumike and Tiara Ruffin-Pratt in the first 5 minutes of this game. 5 total fouls here for LA, and between those 2 players, they got 4 of the 5. Williams to DeShields just inside the 3-point line. The Diva comes down with the rebound. Under 2 to play in the first quarter. Beard getting closer to 100%. Derek Fisher thought that she'd play a little bit more. She's forced to play a little bit more with the foul trouble already. And DeShields, a turnover.
James Wade right in front of us yelling, "Stop turning it over." Losing his mind there, not happy at all to see those mistakes.
Look at Nneka Ogwumike sitting on the bench.
Just unforced errors by this guy sometimes. You cannot have those.
If it was only that easy, right? If it just was, don't turn it over.
Yeah.
Okay, coach. Got it. The Diva misses her first attempt. Played out with Russia. Dealt with a knee injury for about 5 games this year. Played in the Eurobasket as well, so she missed some time. Playing in her 7th game this year. Shot clock at 8, and Gabby pulls, misses. Second opportunity, though. DeShields hits the 3.
LA really gambling on defense, double, tripling the post, and that led the opportunity of Cheyenne Parker being able to corral that long offensive rebound.
That's the first field goal for Diamond DeShields. Mentioned her first 4 points coming from the free throw line. Taking it baseline. Pump fake, Chicago won't bite on it. Here's the Diva with her pump fake, pull up, empty-handed.
Watch out. Diamond's got a full head of steam.
That could be trouble.
Yeah, a little bit too much steam there, Diamond. Take a look here. That long rebound, Cheyenne Parker finding Diamond, and Diamond unloading there for a good-looking three-pointer. That is something that Diamond DeShields worked on a lot in the offseason. She's so good at getting to the basket, so good at breaking down a defense, but that outside shooting, she really wanted to add that to her game this season. We've seen her hit some really big-time three-pointers.
Three-point shooting's been down the last 6 games, only about 19%. She'll take a seat. That was pretty move there from Chelsea Gray. Jordan-esque, if I can say that. She didn't take off from the free throw line, but just the spin that she had in the finish with the left hand.
The way she used her body to protect the basketball.
Diamond DeShields, by the way, sitting out with 2 personals. She's the first on the Chicago side to pick up 2. Copper couldn't hit that last opportunity. It's a 25-18 advantage after the first 10 minutes. Chicago with the lead over LA. Here's the smart tip you can fast break with. The smart thermostats make saving energy easy, and ComEd is offering a $100 rebate on select smart thermostats. Learn more at ComEd.com/rebates. Lots of little ones taking this one in on this Friday night. I mentioned it's the Air and Water Show weekend, so a lot going on here in the city. Always a fun event to watch on Saturday and Sunday.
Always fun with parking and driving in the city that weekend too, right?
I feel like you're being sarcastic when you say that.
Where did you get that idea?
I got here especially early just to avoid the Friday Chicago traffic tonight.
Yep.
And of course, Chicago home again on Sunday to Las Vegas. Will we see Asia Wilson or will we not? Out with the ankle injury prior to the All-Star break. And as you had mentioned at the beginning, just a really important last couple of weekends. Last weekend and this weekend when you take on Las Vegas and Los Angeles twice, one away, a couple away, I guess I should say, and then you take on both of those teams home. Just the way the schedule kind of played out.
Yeah, huge 4-game series for the Sky. And I like the fact that they went out and got that win against Vegas. That was huge. Unfortunately, the Lavender injury happened in that game. But I thought that even though in that loss to Los Angeles, down Lavender and down Courtney Vandersloot and losing a 16-point lead, I thought that there were a lot of positives that came out of that game. I thought that the team showed a lot of grit, a lot of resiliency dealing with the loss of 2 starters, and still pushed a really, really good Los Angeles team to a victory on its own court.
James Wade has said LA really kind of used their experience against Chicago at the end of that game. Something to learn from. By the way, Janae Ogumake now has picked up her second. So both Ogumake's sisters now with 2 fouls. We have yet to see Nneka re-enter this game after she left early in the first quarter. 9-point advantage for Chicago.
Big firepower sitting on the bench for LA, and Parker, Nneka, and Ruffin Pratt out as well.
Alexis Jones trying to shake a defender off. Again, Sloop on the push.
Oh, look at that release.
Holy cow. So go to the free throw line.
I mean, did the ball even really touch her hand? That's what we got to start watching now. Is it like she just blew it up there or something? I mean, man, that is a quick release. How tough is that to defend? Obviously, very difficult. She was fouled on that play. Defense just too slow in getting there. You have no other choice but to foul Allie Quigley. And, I mean, Allie is shooting as she is kind of gaining her footing there behind the three-point line.
A shout out too to an observation, Mary Murphy, who does the Los Angeles Sparks home games. She had said that because Allie, you have to respect her so much, a lot of times Chicago's playing 4-on-4, the way that other teams are defending Allie because of that exactly, the quick release that she has. And Chicago has done a good job in terms of learning how to play in that way. Today, Ogumake receiving the pass. Get an offensive foul there on Shanae.
But a player like Allie just fits into the philosophy of what Chicago is trying to do offensively so well. She's so quick. She gets down the floor so fast. And she is able to set herself up so that she doesn't need much time to get her shot off.
So Janae Ogumake will sit out with 3 fouls. Candace Parker checks back in. Lou Samuelson.
That is trouble for the Sparks. That is one of their biggest strengths, that front court right. They are all in foul trouble.
Well, it's not like they haven't had to try to plug in pieces before this year. Now they just got to do it in this game. In foul trouble. Candace Parker can do that, huh? So fun to watch. Can shoot with her left or right hand. Sue pulls up, that's a 2. Her foot was on the line, but they'll review that when they get a chance.
Basket by Flutie, but she's, I think, the best passer in the league, and we might have the second best passer in the league in Candace Parker. For a big, her passing abilities are phenomenal.
Chelsea Gray right up there, too. Some spectacular no-lookers from both of those players. Katie Lou Samuelson getting some early playing time. Second opportunity. Shot clock resets to 15. Katie Lou from the corner.
What these fans who have been waiting for some Katie Lou action all season have been wanting, knowing that that is her strength as a big, being able to stretch defenses with her long-range shooting.
Already hunting down a career high. Katie Lou with 5 points here early in this game. Watch her go off the bench. Some daylight. That's why they have her in Chicago. Katie Lou loving it. Sky fans enjoy up to 10% off at the Art Bar located inside Hyatt Regency McCormick Place. Before or after every Chicago Sky home game, just show your ticket stub. Hyatt Regency McCormick Place, the official hotel partner of the Chicago Sky. Went back to look at that Courtney Vandersloot. Was it a 2 or was it a 3? And remember that they called it a 2 on the court. And now they're counting it as a 3. So Chicago benefiting from this review that took place in the timeout.
Well, that toe was ever so close to that line, wasn't it?
Good to have a white shoe. Kind of blend in with, well, I guess it's a blue line, isn't it? You can see very distinctly, though. White shoe versus blue line on that one. Parker trying to tap it away. Candace Parker, of course, played her high school basketball at Naperville Central. We were kind of reviewing in the pregame some of the great girls high school basketball players that have come through the area.
A lot of them from the Chicago area have gone on to play in the WNBA. Most notably, we'll talk more in depth, but obviously Tamika Catching went to Stevenson's High School.
That's got to be 1-2, right?
For sure.
Of course, Taja.
Close third, Gabby Potter.
Yes.
From Marshall High School.
Of course. Nneka Ogwumike is checked back into this game. A foul on the Chicago Sky. Will be the second on Steph Dolson. Nneka Ogwumike to the free throw line. Only played 3 minutes so far in this game. Because of early foul trouble, look at this. Her sister Chene with 3, Tiara Ruffin-Pratt. We've discussed it. Nneka and Tiara Ruffin-Pratt picking up those 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes.
I'm thinking that she won't be down and out for long enough. She is the reigning player of the week in the West. She has been playing great basketball lately, Nneka Ogwumike.
Really kind of making a late charge for MVP as well, as Chicago throws it away right into the hands of Candace Parker. Ray into the corner. Here is Ruffin-Pratt. LA will keep it. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Candace Parker said that her favorite place to eat is Portillo's every time she comes back to the Chicago area, right? So, but she can't have it in the pregame.
No.
Always the postgame meal.
Yes, postgame.
When she comes back to
Be
town.
a little heavy in the stomach. Pregame.
Could you imagine?
No.
Trying to play on a beef sandwich or a hot dog. No, thank you.
Cheese fries. Or their malts. Delicious.
Chocolate cake, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We should get one of the interns, right, to make a run for us. I'm getting hungry here at halftime.
Oh, nice fake.
Runner can't fall. We got a foul there on the floor. And Candace Parker is trying to argue the case. The foul will go against her. That'll be her first.
The only big for LA who's not in foul trouble.
One of the few who is not yet in foul trouble. 14-point advantage here for Chicago. Handoff here to Copper. Kalia Copper. Finding Dew, gets wrapped up by Nneka. Ruffin-Pratt leading the way. Gray left all alone. Right side. Kick out. Parker thought about it. Throwing it all the way to James Wade, who's not eligible to play.
Candace Parker had Courtney Vandersloot on her. Courtney Vandersloot breathing a sigh of relief that Candace didn't take her to the basket and post her up. LA missing that mismatch opportunity. Oh, nice pass.
Sloop at the finish.
I mean, Steph Dolson just threading the needle perfectly on that. Beautiful.
Offense is always better with Chicago when Steph Dolson can touch it. Once or twice on a possession.
Well, she is such a good passer out of the high post. She sees the floor so well, and Chicago makes such great cuts to the basket.
Ruffin-Pratt gets the friendly rule. Now 4 points for her. Trying to make her case for Defensive Player of the Year this year. Dolson, pump fake, going right at it. She gets the double team sandwich between Ogwumike and Parker. Parker out to Ruffin-Pratt. And suddenly LA trying to chip into this lead here, a 12-point advantage.
LA has created a lot of turnovers by the Sky by double and triple teaming the post and really forcing bad passes out of those tough situations.
They're pretty good about that. 5th in the league. They get about 16 points off turnovers every game. Got about 6 already so far in this game. Ogumake wanted that one back. Nneka Ogumake averaging 17 points per game, 5th in scoring in the league, 2nd in rebounding. In that tip, that time won't fall for 2.
I mean, who did it go off to? But I'll tell you what, let's take a look at the Dolson to Vandersloot. Dolson getting her best point guard action on, and just that great cut movement without the basketball by Courtney Vandersloot. Just so in the flow. What pretty basketball by the Chicago Sky. And they are one of the best cutting teams in the league.
Good chemistry, good flow. That's why it's been so frustrating to see the rotation mixed up a little bit with the Lavender injury.
Yeah.
They've been fortunate, though, but that is one thing, and Derek Fisher will be the first to tell you, one thing about the league, and you know this, it's constant change.
Yep.
And if you can adapt and if you can adjust, you'll have success in this league.
It's a short, compacted schedule with players who are tired coming into the season because of off-season commitments. And so there will be injuries, and you've got to prepare for that.
Pull up for Gray. She just makes it look so easy.
And one thing that James Wade told me was that his philosophy and the way that he built his team was to be able to replace one great player with another great player. He built this team for depth, and I really do believe that. I've been saying all season that this is a strength of the Chicago Sky, that depth, and hopefully for the Sky's sake it will come in handy now that there is an injury to a key player, a starter in Gentile Lavender.
The way he chooses to use them. He even referenced the New York game, the last home game here, where he decided to go with the bench to try to win it. Got an offensive foul call there on Ruffin-Pratt, so that's number 3 on Tiara Ruffin-Pratt.
Fouls are just stacking up for the LA Sparks.
That means Alina Beard will have to check back in. And look right at the free throw line. Ruffin-Pratt setting that screen against Cheyenne Parker. That's her 3rd. Shanae Ogumake with 3, Ruffin-Pratt with 3, and Nneka Ogumake still playing with 2. Allie quickly from around the screen.
Guy does a great job of getting Allie open with some really good screen.
Nice pass for Gray. Laid it off on a silver platter for Nneka. Gabby Williams hunting it down. Oh, and one!
And this is why Gabby Williams has had such success being able to guard bigger players, to take on bigger players. She is strong, and look at the way that she finished on that shot. Gabby Williams coming off the bench, giving the Sky a spark, just bulldozing her way in. Sky up by 13.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is a proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. For more information, visit IBJIRehab.com. Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. Move better, live better. Superhero night. Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, yeah, Buzz.
Ghostbusters. And Cinderella, maybe?
Now you're just showing off.
It's not my strength. But those are like old school superheroes.
True.
I can do that. They happened in the 80s and the 90s. I'm good with that. Superman. Wonder Woman. Yeah, Spider-Man. I know those. I can identify all.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm with you.
It's the DC versus Marvel. Like all those characters. I'm in a little bit of trouble. Weeds with the hesitation. Up top. Oh, Gray. Nearly threaded the needle. Gabby took it away, leaving the break out to Quigley. Back out to Gabby. Inside. Just off the rim. Parker inside. Pump fake. Kick out. It's off the hands of Nneka. Derek Fisher sitting next to Fred Williams. Patricia Trammell has relied on his assistants in terms of just being in year number 1 and learning how confined the season is in the WNBA. To make those adjustments.
2 first-year coaches, head coaches anyway. James Wade in his first year with the Sky.
Both doing a great job, too. Trying to implement their systems a little bit. Derek Fisher going a little bit more positionless basketball. Copper lost it.
That was almost a really sweet move.
Gray looking to take on with Gabby defending her. Nika Ogwumike, the spin move will draw the foul on Duke.
Nika going to get calls like that as Dudu trying to remind the refs that she had her hand straight up. But Nika, so good. And you see the footwork there, wrapping that inside foot around a Dudu to get that position and draw the foul.
Left hand coming down right on the body of Nika Ogwumike. I mentioned is kind of making a late charge at perhaps the league MVP.
Yep, for sure. I mean, you've got, I think Elena Deladon is in the driver's seat right now. She has had a fabulous season. I would say Nika might be my number 2, the way that she has come on and kind of led this team through some very, very tough injuries. Jonquel Jones, can't forget about her. I think that she's been fabulous.
Of course, of Washington. Connecticut, I'm sorry.
Big time scorer and the top rebounder in this league.
Right.
And really great efforts in a season in which we were wondering how things are going to play out with so many big time names out to start the season with injury. And a lot of players have stepped up. We've seen some really good basketball out of a lot of key players this year.
Jonquel Jones playing at George Washington. I was keeping her in D.C. I think Mike Tebow would
he'd love that.
Nika Ogwumike, of course, the player of the month in July, averaging over 20 points per game in that month, dealing with a really reduced, a short-handed team most of that month.
You want to talk MVP candidates? How about Liz Cambage from Vegas, who will be here on Sunday? So some really tough talent that the Sky is going to be going up against. And they play Washington soon with Elena Deladon. They play Phoenix again soon with Brittany Griner, who's also a candidate for MVP.
Michelle Smith, if you hop on the WNBA.com site, she was writing an article making a case for Courtney Vandersloot as well.
I think that's a great conversation to have.
Just with the numbers that she's put up, it's so important when you talk about the important pieces, and perhaps if Chicago is a top 4 team.
Yep. And you kind of think out of the box if you have her in that conversation, because a lot of times people are immediately thinking about the top scorers in the league. And Courtney Vandersloot averaging only about 11 points per game, but it is what she does to set up her teammates and how she has led this team. This is a team that hasn't made the playoffs for 2 straight years, and a team that is in playoff contention and has been among the top teams in the league for much of the season. And I think a lot of that is kind of anchored by Courtney Vandersloot in the way that she is able to dictate the offense, which has been a strength for the Sky all season.
First in the league right now, 8.8 assists per game. She keeps up this pace, she will set a new record and break her own record that she set last year. She averaged 8.6 assists per game. Here is Sloot, and they kick out to Do. She can hit that shot. Oh, pops out. The home run's not very kind there to Stu Du. Parker inside. Out to Beard. Takes it inside the lane. Finishes with the right hand. Lefty going righty. Final few seconds here of the half. 11-point advantage. Chicago has led the entire way. Courtney Vandersloot couldn't finish that time.
Just didn't have an angle, but that was a great move, cutting through the defense.
Final few seconds. Here's Gray with Sloot defending her. So dangerous. Will kick it out. To Beard, who hits the 3. Her first 3-point make. I have that of the year.
Well, she has been hurt, but she can hit those. And what nice momentum for the Sparks to go into halftime off of a shot like that, cutting into the Sky's lead.
single digits now. Trying to get it again. That won't count. You said it, LA making a charge here as of late. A double-digit lead, no more here as we're at the half. And the lone Chicago double-figure score here in the first half, Allie Quigley, she's put on the headset, and she joins us now. Allie, let's just talk about those last few minutes. What changed there with that little LA charge that you saw?
They made a tough three, and Elena Beard hit a two. I don't know, we just got to play tougher defense. I think it's just all defense.
Allie, 45 first half points. You're on pace for 90. How do you keep up that pace offensively?
I think it just becomes, we got to continue taking good shots, take care of the ball, and keep them off the free throw line. If we do that, then it'll be fine, but we just got to do those three things.
Allie, a lot of key players for LA in first half foul trouble. How do you kind of capitalize on that in the second half?
I think we just got to keep being aggressive, keep playing our game. Can't change like too much and just start throwing it inside or try to go at people. We just got to play our game and play fast and just be us.
Last question, Allie. The difference in playing this team three times is what? What feels different?
I think we've gained confidence with each game. The first time it was a rough go, and last time, we just let it slip out of our hands. And this time, I think we know we got it. But they're a championship team. They proved that over the years. So we gotta play 40 minutes, not just a half.
All right. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
45-37, your halftime score on Superhero Nights. Name them all if you can. Help me out. A conversation with us, do around the corner. Basketball is powered by Wintrust, proud to be Chicago's bank and the official bank of the Chicago Sky. Wintrust, built here for here. And by Ariel Investments, slow and steady wins the race. And by Magellan Corporation, proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. And presented by Magellan Corporation, benefiting La Rabida Children's Hospital, who are raising possibilities for a lifetime. At La Rabida, every child is one of a kind. That's why they need Chicago's one-of-a-kind Children's Hospital. La Rabida, where healing happens. All right, moments away here from beginning the second half. Chicago and Los Angeles, again, the second time in 5 days, really, that these two teams have met. Third time this year. LA took the first two of the regular season. Chicago looking to get one here and hold off an LA charge. It was something that they couldn't do on Sunday when they had built up that 16-point advantage, and LA kind of rallied from behind in similar fashion what they're doing here tonight to win it.
And you better believe that was a focus in the locker room with James Wade. Hey guys, we have got to be able to close out this game this time. Keep your eye on the prize, no let-up. This is a big game. This would pull Chicago and LA even in the standings with a Sky victory.
Steph Olsen.
I love her facial expression.
She's ecstatic that one went down.
She is priceless.
First bucket of this game. To get here early, don't miss Steph Olsen being introduced in the starting lineup. Always makes it interesting. Rough and press, pull up and hits.
Steph Olsen, the best interview in the WNBA. I love her candidness. It's so refreshing.
Looking for back-to-back buckets. Just got tangled up a little bit. 9 seconds now to shoot. Sloop gets the screen. Astu. Outside. James Wade right in front of us yelling about the rebound. And we talked to halftime about how that was a strength for this guy, and he is not happy that no one went for an offensive rebound on that Astu miss. So here, Steph Olsen getting a little jiggy with it there on the reaction. That's in game. When we talk about, again, she always seems to have like a different dance when she's introduced to the starting lineups as Gray connects on that free throw.
I got to hand it to Kalia Copper, too, for remembering everyone's dance.
Oh, yeah. She's got
a
different handshake for every player.
Yeah, she's at the end of the huddle there, and she greets everyone. She knows everybody's little dance.
Had Parker going flying. Makes her pay. Connects on the three.
I think Gally has been working with her wife, Flutie, on the fake You know, a little shot fake and creating space and getting the defender up and on her heels.
A little dinner time conversation, perhaps, on the off days.
How to get more open.
Ruffin Pratt pulls up. She connects. Ruffin Pratt only playing 10 minutes here in this game, but 5 of 6 for 10 points. Another bucket.
Makes it look so easy sometimes, doesn't she?
Every single time. Eka with the three-point line. Might have stepped on it there. Sloop with the rebound. Looking for reinforcements. Gets the screen from Steph and the look-off. Here's Duke. Steph left all alone.
Another second chance for this guy there.
Parker hesitation. Kind of been quiet back-to-back games. Candace Parker, no points here so far.
That is very unusual. 0 for 6 from the field for Candace Parker.
So, you know, we've been talking about it with the pregame.
Getting stretched out.
Yes,
ready to go.
She doesn't disappoint. And here's the copper handshake. Got it. Sleep was whistled for the foul. That's her second. And it sent Ruffin Pratt to the free throw line. Well, in the last couple of games, Chicago held off a charge from Las Vegas, won that one. Couldn't do it on Sunday against LA. Have they learned their lesson here tonight? Chicago's only beaten LA all time 7 times. They're 7 of 24 coming into tonight against this franchise. Here's Dolson. Out to Quigley. A little shake and bake. Body bucket and one alley.
Wow, this is a pretty special LA franchise. A lot of success in winning, but the guy bringing it here tonight, especially Allie Quigley, she now has 20 in this game, and she had to work for that one. The hesitation, the pullback dribble, and then taking on 2 defenders and finishing the contact. That is a pretty tough move by Allie Quigley.
She's already at 20 points. Still got 7 minutes left to play, really, in the third quarter. Posting up Sloop. She's got the size and the strength advantage in that matchup. Sloop, no look to do. Perfect pass, easy finish.
This team moves so well without the basketball. Hard to get the pros even sometimes to understand that. Ball movement, player movement. Always spot on with the Chicago Sky. Just such a great job of using the entire floor, and Stu pretty much wide open under the basket.
And now the third personal on Courtney with 3 assists here in this game. 15 assists on 19 field goals.
We have seen that kind of high percentage out of the Sky all season. And I think that speaks to the tone that Courtney Vandersloot sets. One of the reasons that she is such a good passer is not just because she's a good passer and can see the floor well and she has that talent. She is just one of the most unselfish players I've ever seen. Remember, she was a big scorer in college, and she could be a big-time scorer in the WNBA. She's got a great shot, a great nose for the basket. She's got that ability to knife through a defense and score on the run. But she just is so willing to set up her teammates and have that be her primary focus.
There's Spirit finding Ogumake for the bucket. When we compare statistics for Chicago last year versus this year, their assists per game as a team are slightly better from even last season.
But that is a tone of unselfishness that is set at the top by Courtney Vandersloot.
About over 20 assists per game last year. Just under 22 per game this year. Off and running. Parker off her last. been that kind of night for Candace Parker. Really uncharacteristic of her and her return home.
Yeah, it really has been.
Really puts up big numbers. Her 22nd game playing against Chicago. She averages about 19.6 points per game against the Sky. 8 rebounds per game. Always been known to have a really good game, especially playing back in the Windy City. Allie, there's that pump fake. Slide it over for 3.
And we better not make too much of a commentary about Candace Parker being quiet until this game is completely over, because I have seen her score points in a hurry. She is the kind of player that can explode and string together a bunch of big buckets.
Well, the book is certainly not closed on tonight yet.
That's right.
Certainly on Nneka Ogwumike, too. All kinds of ways to score the basketball. She's added the three-point shot, one of the big stories for her this year. She'll get about 9 points in the paint per game. The tops in the league. And it's those kind of turnovers that would drive James Wade nuts.
Take a look here, Allie Quigley, and what she can do with the basketball. Nice pass there by Dolson, and that little shot fake is deadly. Sky up by 8.
At Midtown Athletic Club, we have the best of everything under one roof. And every place you turn at Midtown, there's something to get the heart rate up. Don't settle for anything less than everything. Join the official athletic club of the Chicago Sky. You can learn more at midtown.com. 8-point advantage. Chicago over Los Angeles. Both of these teams trying to get into the top 4. To get a top 4 seed, you get a bye. You have to play that single elimination game in the playoffs. Awfully valuable. Chicago could beat LA tonight. They would be in a tie for 4th, both sitting at 15-10 record. Great. Into the lane. Rebound by Ogwumike. Puts it back and gets the roll.
Well, that was such good defense by Diamond DeShields on Gray, and now you've got to close out that defensive possession by getting that rebound.
12 points for Ogwumike. 14 points for both Ruffin, Pratt, and Gray. That's the leaders on the LA side. We got 24 for Quigley to lead all scorers. Here she is again from the wing at the hot hand. He doesn't have the numbers. Doesn't matter. She can create like that.
She just gets you all tangled up, and Gabby Williams getting beaten, having to foul from behind. Chelsea Gray, really, I feel, an underrated player in this league, but has just proven herself as a go-to player for this LA team. Taking shots in the clutch, making tough shots, finishing tough shots, can create her own offense. Was an all-star this year. His last 3 years. 2017, 18, 19. Talk about her averages. The only guard in the top 10 in terms of scoring, assists, rebounds. Really gives LA such a nice compliment to you. What I think is one of the best front courts in the league with Parker and Nneka Ogwumike. She really gives them that balance on the perimeter.
That's a big question. Is LA good enough now? We know that they have the all-star pieces. Are they good enough? Are they meshing well enough? Are they playing well enough to be a contender for a WNBA title?
Well, the good thing for them is there's still about 10 games left in the WNBA for them to really get that chemistry going, because they have had so many moving pieces this season due to injury. They are going to need some time to really get it all together.
And this is as close as they have been since the first quarter, and it's forced James Wade to call a timeout. What once was an 18-point advantage for Chicago has now been whittled down to 2, and the fast break is on for LA.
And that is just beating the Sky down the floor, out hustling the Sky. The Diva finishing there, forcing the timeout to be called. And here's where you got that trouble area. The Sky, remember, they had that 16-point lead against LA just a few days ago on the road and let that slip away. Ended up losing by 3 or 4 points.
Well, LA is a franchise that has had Chicago's number, and right now they are kind of 4 and 5, and you look at the standings. There's 5 games taking place tonight across the league. And you see right now going into tonight, LA with that 4 seed and Chicago right behind them. Look how close it is. Everyone right now chasing the Washington Mystics with the best overall record. The cutoff point, the top 8 make the playoffs. And again, the top 4 get that bye. The top 2 get the double bye. Los Angeles, of course, not just thinking about being a top 4 seed when they've got everyone back. Thinking about being a top 2 seed.
I think the Sky should think that way too, Lisa. There is very little separation between those top 4 or 5 teams. I think that anybody that gets hot right now among those top teams can really make a run for one of those top 2 spots.
Don't forget, too, Raquana Williams out. This is the 9th game that she's missing tonight because of a league suspension dealing with domestic violence. And when she comes back, it will be the first time that all 12 players would be available for LA. She would miss the Minnesota game. She'd be back for the Thursday tilt against Indiana. Another foul on Tierra Ruffin-Pratt. That is her 4th. Pretty good job here in this quarter, not picking up that 4. Picked up 2 early fouls, but it hasn't kept her offense going or away. Ruffin-Pratt, who averages only about 7 points per game, has doubled that up with 14 tonight. Dawson from up top, loving it.
Again with the emotion, I love that. I think her teammates feed off of that. She just felt like she needed that one to go down. 5 points now for Steph, all here in the second half.
Yeah, she was scoreless in the first half. You can see the pain of that and the relief in the last 2 buckets that she's hit. Gray's in trouble, has to throw it up.
Nearly made it, almost went in. My goodness, Gray, tough.
Offensive foul called on Steph. And a moving screen is what they're going to call. And that's her 4th.
Again, the ball movement by the Sky.
Umake short. And a foul there on the floor. This time it's on Duke. Well, Steph Dolson did not like the last foul that was called on her, and I think she's got a case. She didn't touch anyone.
I don't even think there was contact at all.
That's reputation.
It is.
That's a reputation call.
It is, actually. You get the star calls and you get some reputation calls every now and then. And Steph has a reputation for fouling.
Or being a physical player.
Especially setting screens and being physical.
And usually about once every game she gets called for a moving screen.
Yep, that is true.
She sits out now with 4 personals for Chicago. 63 to 59. Cheyenne Parker trying to post up Nneka Ogwumike. That's going to be a foul on Nneka. That is her 3rd. So she's gone all of this way after the first really kind of 5 minutes since she picked up the first 2. Ooh, Diamond DeShields and Nneka Ogwumike just collided. Not intentionally. Diamond always seems to find the contact.
She does. She's always getting hit in the head and the face.
Even in a dead ball situation. 2.5 to play here in the 3rd. Parker, spin around, can't get it. Cheyenne Parker had a really good road trip. Averaged about 14.5 points per game against Las Vegas and LA. Here's Ogwumike into the lane, finishing with the left hand.
That footwork and just slicing and dicing through the defense there. Nneka was going to be denied on that possession.
And we got another foul on a Studu. We got a technical.
Courtney
Vandersloot.
Courtney was talking to this particular official a few minutes ago. And again, coming back to argue that call.
So that'll send Chelsea Gray to the line. The possibility here to tie or take the lead for LA.
But I like the fact that Courtney Vandersloot trying to be a leader in that situation, trying to stick up for her teammates, trying to fire up her team, gets the tech for it. We're talking a little bit too much to the same official in this game, but I like her intended leadership on that play.
63-62, mark it down. Momentum swinging possibility here for either one of these teams. Under 2 minutes to play here in the third. Gray down to 2, pops out. Offensive rebound, put back. Janae couldn't get it.
Stu finally coming down with it. She's had some big rebounds in this game.
Oh, pick in the pocket. Janae trying to run it down. Diamond DeShields coming over for the block.
Love that, and that is a must. You must have that kind of hustle out of your star players. Diamond DeShields not ever giving up on that play. Looked like Janae was just going to coast in for an easy 2, and Diamond hustling back here. Courtney Vandersloot getting her pocket picked, and Janae looks like she's just going to throw one in, and Diamond with a big-time block to save an easy basket.
7,907 fans loving that kind of play. Today will get another chance. Got it that time. Avoided timing completely. Avoided everybody completely. Things are getting awfully interesting here. Los Angeles now taking the lead for the first time since really the beginning of this game.
As soon as that bucket happened, James Wade reaching for Allie Quigley to come back into this game. He needs another scorer, but this guy also needs some defense here. That was way too easy for Shanae Ogumake, and Diamond DeShields a little upset with herself that she wasn't able to help on that attempt.
Elena Beard whistled for the personal foul. That's her second. We got a stoppage in the action here. We have a one-shot technical free throw.
Diamond has blood coming out of her mouth, right on her lip. She looks like she has a busted lip. Diamond DeShields going to get some treatment here. She's being taken off the floor.
There's a technical foul on Shanae Ogumake while they take care of DeShields.
I think these players know the importance of this game. I mean, they know what's at stake here. 4th place.
It's starting to feel a little bit like a playoff atmosphere, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Players talking, getting a little chippy out there.
Diamond trying to get patched up, and again, Janae Ogumake whistled for the technical foul. Watch Janae, who is right around the free throw line there, number 13, talking to the officials. And she got teed up right after that conversation. Allie makes the free throw. We got to sort it out. Cheryl Flores, Kevin Fahey, Katie Lukanich, your officials here tonight. The last thing that they want to have happen is for this to get out of control. We've already seen some of the emotions rising a little bit here for Chicago, and now it's Courtney Vandersloot stepping to the free throw line. And there was a personal foul, I believe, that was called on Elena Beard. But I'm at a loss right now why Courtney would shoot that free throw. He had not been... Derek Fisher's trying to get an explanation as well.
Courtney Berry's here for this guy. 2 free throws and the ball back here.
Yeah, ties it up at 64. How about a time to hit a three, Astu?
He shot a couple of threes earlier that were off the mark, and I think James Wade was a little frustrated by that, but he's loving that shot. Stu has that kind of range.
Radiva, too strong. Here's Sloot. inside there with Cheyenne Parker trying to post up. Alexis Jones is going to be whistled for the foul.
Take a look here, and the Sparks taking their chances with Stu shooting that three, and she nails it. She was telling me how much confidence she gained in the last offseason playing with her team from Spain, and then the fact that they made that long run in the Eurobasket Championship, ending up winning that championship, and she left here to take some time off for that and came back with a little pep in her step and a different kind of attitude, feeling like she could really be a contributor for this team. Now she really has a chance to prove it, subbing in for injured Jantel Lavender.
Well, just her 4 3-point make of the year. Also to clean up the technical free throw situation, we're told that Allie Quigley, who hit the first technical free throw, wasn't on the court when all that happened. So they had to negate the free throw that she made, and they chose Courtney Vandersloot, who was on the court, to take the free throw for Chicago. So hopefully that clears things up for everyone. Beard with the miss. Cheyenne Parker out to Sloop it off her fingertips. Costly turnovers here down the stretch.
This is where you cannot lose your head in a close game. You kind of feel like LA has some momentum here. They've clawed back. They're playing well. Sky has to take care of that.
Awfully interesting as we have 10 more minutes to play. LA outscoring Chicago in that third to make it a 5-point advantage. Sky is the limit when you plan a party at the Saks Recreation Center, a 100,000 square foot facility to meet your event needs. Saks Recreation Center, the official training center of the Chicago Sky. Fourth quarter action between LA and Chicago, the final meeting of the regular season between these two teams. LA looking to sweep the regular season series, and Chicago looking to continue its winning ways. There's 3 of its last 4. Before dropping one to LA on Sunday, 84-81. LA in this one without one Candace Parker scoring a point, by the way.
That's amazing. When was the last time that she was ever held scoreless in a game? Not saying that she will be. Obviously, we've got an entire quarter left, but man, that does not happen often to keep a Candace Parker this quiet for this long.
Didn't put up Candace Parker numbers in the last game. 4 points, 6 rebounds against Dallas. A game that LA lost and snapped a 5-game win streak. Enrique Agumbawale, by the way, with a career-high 35 points in that game. Candace Parker starting the fourth quarter on the bench for LA. It's Gray and Weiss, Elena Beard, the diva, and Nneka Ogwumike. And we got the offensive foul there. So I think these officials are at least trying to be consistent in calling that moving screen for both teams.
We've seen that a lot this season. You flinch even just a little bit, and they're going to call that moving screen.
There's Candace with the warm-up jersey still on.
Official demonstrating how that moving screen happened.
Both of these benches and head coaches are a little bit irritated at this point. And we talked about this playoff atmosphere that we have.
Nice crowd here tonight.
Our crack research staff with the Candace Parker numbers, she scored at least every game so far. They've gone back to 2014. They're still going back.
I think they're going to have to go back for a while.
Well, she's, in her 12th year, so they got a few more years left. But you've got them working now.
Sorry, guys. I don't know if you had to put a bet on it. You think she's ever been held scoreless? I would say no.
I would say no.
Never.
Every WNBA game now, our crack research staff has an answer. She scored at least 2 points.
Yep, there you go. I knew it.
Now you wonder, could they go back to college and high school to Naperville Central?
I would say definitely no, and definitely double no. No, no, no. Never, never.
Dolson working it around to Copper. She'll let it fly. And it connects. Kalia Copper with her first points in the game.
That is 11 triples in this game for the Chicago Sky. What a big difference maker. 11 threes for the Sky, just 2 for LA.
Shooting about 46% from that.
Rebounds and threes have been big difference makers for the Sky in this game.
They shoot about 5th best in the WNBA from behind the 2nd best field goal percentage in the league. They've been awfully efficient offensively because you can find different pieces like they did on this possession.
Well, just look at the path this ball traveled from Allie deep along the baseline up to Dolson beyond the three-point line at the top of the key, all the way over to Kalia Copper. And that is what I was saying earlier with this team. So good at moving the ball, so good at getting different players involved in unselfish basketball.
It'll be a quick possession, 8 to shoot. Parker taking it inside. Candace Parker is checked back in. Got a piece of that to draw the turnover. 6-point advantage here for Chicago. That again at one point had an 18-point advantage in the first half. It's an LA team that won't go away. Full of all-stars and veterans and championship pedigree. The Diva, put back, won't get it. The tip. Parker, that was nearly her first points.
Swiped a bit away by Allie Quigley.
Sloop, cross-court pass. Can Copper do it again? Not that high. Parker with the offensive rebound. She'll take a trip to the free throw line.
And that is one of the things that Cheyenne Parker has done so well all season long, is position herself for those offensive rebounds. She had a stretch in June where she was just a monster on the boards. They're keeping this possession alive for the Sky at a critical time here.
We got a timeout coming up. 7:37 left to play. 6-point advantage for Chicago. Play of the game brought to you by Aerial Investments. You go all the way back to the first half. A little give and go. Steph finding Sloop.
Steph Dolson channeling her inner Courtney Vandersloot with the perfectly timed and positioned pass. And Steph Dolson giving Vandersloot a run for her money here in this game. She has 4 assists in this game. Courtney Vandersloot, the leading playmaker in the WNBA, has 5. I think that's what makes Steph Dolson there with a big bucket of her own. A special post player. She was willing to come out from the post, come into the high post, and use her height and vision to become a passer. Very good passer as a big is Steph Dolson.
Things tough too for other bigs. Weiss couldn't get it that time. Cutting across the baseline, couldn't get the reverse, but Steph Dolson up against some of the bigs. You think about Liz Cambage and Asia Wilson, and Candace Parker, Nneka Ogwumike, Brittany Griner. She's frustrated in the past.
But the fact that Steph is willing to come out of the paint and find open teammates with passes like that, it really opens up the entire Chicago offense. And you saw on that play of the game how open Courtney Vandersloot was in cutting to the basket. That is because Dolson pulls herself and her defender out of the paint.
Try to do it again there. Looking back door to try to find Quigley that time. LA held a lead briefly here in the second half. Chicago has responded, leading by 8. That got blocked by Parker, who leaks out. They couldn't find her. Ruffin Pratt will take it all the way. Draws the foul on Quigley.
LA smart. They're attacking the rim. They're trying to get to the free throw line, trying to cut into this deficit.
Allie's trying to plead her point. Ruffin Pratt, her 3rd and 4th free throw attempts coming up. Again, player who averages just about 7 points per game, has doubled up that point total tonight. 15 in 15 minutes for Ruffin Pratt. Equal story, about equal between the two teams. A whistle, and we'll do it again. Lane violation. No violation. They said the ball was still in the shooter's hands, but she missed the shot. I'm a little confused by that. Makes that one. Second opportunity. When the official came over, that's exactly what she said, right? When she came over to the scores table, it was right in front of us. Foul away from the basketball. That time it looks like it's on Ruffin Pratt, trying to body up Steph Dolson. That's her fifth. One more and she's out of the game, which would be big, not only defensively, but for tonight, offensively for LA. 16 more points than Candace Parker does. The shield, out to Sloot. Three to shoot. Sloot's got to put it up. Someone's got to put it up. Parker does. On the transition, Ruffin Pratt. Her night a little bit. Quigley has Sloot. Goes to her left side to Diamond, but it's ripped away.
Just off target there with that pass. That would have been a pretty one to Diamond.
18 turnovers now for Chicago tonight.
Couple empty possessions in a row.
Padiva sizes it up. That would have been big for LA. Even returning on August 1st. Playing in the Eurobasket and dealing with a knee injury. That whole long for Allen. Doesn't get much easier than that.
Lucky break for this guy. Beard falling down, trying to save that ball and tapped it right to Allie.
Gray gets the screen. Diamond switches back on her. Here's to Parker. Up against Parker. Candace.
Okay.
It's crunch time, Candace.
No history made here tonight.
Her first points of this game coming under 5 minutes to play. A player who's had 4 double-doubles in her career against Chicago. 9 games with 20 or more points against Chicago in her career.
Does that open up the can of worms that this guy has probably feared this entire game? You cannot keep Candace Parker down. What does she have in store these last 4 minutes? Candace Parker finally getting on the board, held scoreless this entire game. And then Cheyenne Parker on the other end coming through with a big basket for this guy to extend that lead.
The X Factor brought to you by Wintrust, proud sponsor of the Chicago Sky. Wintrust, proud to be Chicago's bank. The many faces of Steph Dolson, keeping everyone loose.
Steph Dolson, so funny, keeps everything light. Her expressions, her emotions, I think it just bleeds into the entire team. This team enjoys playing with each other. They've got a good sense of humor. They're all friends. I think Steph Dolson sets that tone. She's had some frustrations in this game, but then some high points too. And when she's high, we all know it. She has had some great facial expressions in this game.
Second on the team in this game too with the 4 assists. A little bit of the little things. Sometimes the things that just don't show up on the stat sheet. Sometimes the things that do show up on the stat sheet. That's the value of Steph Dolson.
In a season like this, it can be a long season sometimes. It can be a grind, and you need some levity. You need a player who can kind of just keep things loose and light.
That's a big bucket for LA. Gray taking the contact will take a trip to the free throw line. Still a lot of time to be played here.
Definitely a lot of time for LA with the firepower on this team, and Chelsea Gray making a tough one over Diamond DeShields, and also with the contact. Remember, just like the Sky, this LA team is a very potent, powerful offensive team with a lot of weapons. This game is far from over.
Gray now at 22. Perfect 7 for 7 from the free throw line. And a 4-point advantage for Chicago. 4 minutes to play. They feed Parker and gets blocked by Parker. Oh, Chelsea Gray! She hit some big shots Sunday against Chicago. Hitting the rewind button tonight.
So clutch, so fearless, no hesitation at all in taking a big-time shot like that, and the Sky need a timeout to figure it out.
Rewind, replay. Chelsea Gray coming up huge down the stretch.
Well, she hits a big shot, getting fouled, and then LA coming up with a big defensive play, and then here's Chelsea Gray again with a big-time three-pointer. That's 6 points for her in a span of less than a minute. Just instant offense for LA, and now this is a 1-point ball game, and you think that Chelsea Gray knows the importance of this game. Look at that emotion. We have seen great emotion out of both of these teams throughout this game. It's been a real, like you said, playoff atmosphere kind of ball game.
It's felt like that for sure. How about Chelsea Gray's last 3 games? You go back, she's got 25 points tonight. She had 22 in the last game against Dallas, and she had 26 on Sunday against Chicago.
And she had 3 threes in that game. She also had 6 assists. She is just a stat stuffer. Can just do so many different things.
And it just goes back, you think, LA, they're down to 8 players in the month of July. They've used 9 different lineups. Key players have been injured. Now, they're still missing Laquana Williams.
But a tough player like Chelsea Gray will take that to heart and really understand the kind of expectations that are on her in a situation like that, where her teammates are down. She has really elevated her game to be that go-to player for Los Angeles.
You have an all-star, you have a player who knows what it takes to win championships. Here's Parker again up against Parker. That punt gets it to Park. Challenged Candace on that play. 3-point advantage. Diamond DeShields, the big defensive assignment on Chelsea Gray. Out to Agumake. To Parker, she thought about it. Didn't pull the trigger. Now with 5 to shoot. Where she got in her. They feed her again on the post. Turn around. Hits. Candace with 5 points in the last couple of minutes.
That was a tough shot under duress. The shot clock almost at 0 on that possession for LA.
Steph Olsen. Oh, that is what she can do. Stuff the stat sheet, Steph.
We have seen her get hot from 3-point range and have games with multiple threes. Such a tough defensive assignment for an opposing big.
Now in double figures with 10 points. Luke trying to chase it down.
Oh, nice.
That's Diamond DeShields with the ball finish.
But Courtney Vanderslip almost falling out of bounds on that save and still managing to throw bullet to dunk.
Quick shot by LA. It's a quick shot and 1 shot. Every LA punch, Chicago has had a counter punch. Here's Sloot, reverse style.
She can do it all, ladies and gentlemen. She has 9 assists on that pretty last pass to Diamond, and then flipping that on the reverse layup to give Chicago some momentum. Time out. Sparks.
The Sloot scoop is money. 87 to 79 with under 2 minutes to play. Counter punch.
Look here at the athleticism of Courtney Vandersloot on the tightrope there, saving the basketball and still having the strength to throw almost a little more than a half-court pass to Diamond, and then wheeling and dealing here, just the hesitation to try to bide her time until an opening occurs, and then that little reverse layup. Courtney Vandersloot feeling it. Remember, she was sick for the LA game a few days ago out west, and she is looking like she is nice and healthy now. She is in her game.
All 5 Chicago starters in double figures tonight. Sleep with 13, Quigley with 26, Blue with 11, Dolson with 10, and DeShields with 11.
9 assists, though, for Courtney Vandersloot. She has been involved in a lot of offense here tonight.
Oh, that timeout. LA almost threw it away. Lee's chasing it down. 12 to shoot. Going for it. MVP the last couple of minutes.
See here, coming from behind, and this time getting all ball. No contact there. That was a clean one.
Ogumake into the lane, off the glass for 2. Cool, calm, and collected.
Machine-like.
Chicago hanging on to a 6-point advantage. Minute and a half to go. Sloot gets the roll.
Just willed that in with the little roll.
Offensive foul call. They've been calling it all night long, but Sloot went down hard.
She did, and she didn't look so good when her teammates pulled her up. We've seen some really physical, tough screens in this league. Remember, Jamira Faulkner, the last time that we were here at Wintrust Arena, suffered a really tough fall to the ground on a screen, and same thing with Courtney Vandersloot.
And that's the 6th on Nneka Ogumake, so she's out of the game.
Not happy about something. She is arguing her case with the official. That was a foul. You cannot just level a player like that.
One more look at it. Different angle this time.
I think the upper body, just given that added push, should really send Courtney Vandersloot flying.
Four fouls for LA in this quarter, 3 for Chicago. 1 timeout left for Derek Fisher, 2 for James Wade. Chicago will take its time. Looking to seal it. DeShields. There's Russian Pratt. Under a minute to play. Gray. Too strong. Another opportunity. Gray pulls it away. I wonder if that's the turnover that'll do it.
I think it did it.
Sloot, making sure.
That'll do it.
17 points for Courtney Vandersloot, and she's called for the blocking foul that time. 17 points, 9 assists for Sloot.
Boy, that is just her specialty. Along with her passing ability, it's her another really physical ball for Courtney Vandersloot, but just Courtney's ability to get to the rim and finish on those little flip, those little layups with the scoop. Tough to defend, tough to block. She uses her body well to protect the basketball. She has had some key layups here in the final minutes for the Sky to really ice this game.
And James Wade didn't want to take any chances, too. He immediately subbed her out, put Gabby Williams in. To risk any injury. Katie Lou Samuelson is also checked in. Weiss can't connect. It's Candace Parker will chase it down from the corner. Just 5 points here for Parker. coming off a 4-point performance against Dallas. The Sky have struggled to beat LA in their entire franchise history, and it's the first time they've beaten them here in 2019. A 10-point advantage, 91-81 the final. And they are dead equal in the standings right now at 15 and 10.
Yeah, not only a big win to be able to beat a team like LA, but a meaningful win in terms of the big picture. We talked about it. This now ties Chicago with LA in the standings. Both teams now the identical records, tied for 4th place. This is the time, the last stretch here.